It's wild. It's just a really, really awesome experience.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, some people are just the worst, some politicians are just the worst, but all of those people have one thing going for them, one positive note. At least they're not Mitt Romney. There's the worst, and then there's this guy. I mean, I think I'd rather see a Senate full of Mitch McConnells than one Mitt Romney. But what I keep questioning about Mitt Romney is he genuine? Is he just like this, or is he playing some sort of game? Is there an ulterior motive, some corrupt connection that makes him act this way? Or is he being genuine and this is just how he is? It's so damn cringe. His moral superiority complex, where he just thinks that he's so above it all, that he's sticking to his ethics, but really, he's being played, and he's playing right into the Democrat hand over and over again. Who does this guy work for? The Bidens, Nancy Pelosi, or the American people, and especially the Republicans? The Republican voters who voted for him and put him in the position that he's in. Well, coward rhino Mitt Romney strikes again, proving to the world, showing us why he is the worst of the worst. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, take a look at this headline. Rhino Mitt Romney calls for investigations into Hunter Biden to end, but there's much more to the story. Senator Mitt Romney has once again cozied up to Democrats by recently condemning his Republican colleagues who are launching investigations into Hunter Biden. Romney told The Bulwark that he believes investigations by the now Republican-controlled House are a waste of time and resources. Romney would go on to say, I think the American people want us to tackle some of the big challenges we have, immigration, inflation, and so forth, and the other things that divert from those priorities I think are a waste of time. The Gateway Pundit previously revealed Romney's top advisor, Joseph Cofer Black, was on the board of Burisma Holdings while Hunter Biden was also sitting on the board. And now, I don't know about you guys, but immediately upon reading that headline, just the headline itself, that Mitt Romney wants investigations into Hunter Biden to end, my immediate response in my mind was, what the F? This guy can't be serious. Now, I don't know if it's corruption or naivete, this sort of grade school idealism that Mitt Romney seems to operate with. We should be doing this, and we should be doing that, and coming together, and passing legislation. Yeah, you know, in theory, that sounds real nice and dandy, Mr. Dad Jeans Romney, but in the real world, it doesn't exactly work that way. Republicans have a slim majority in the House. Democrats control the Senate. Democrats control the White House. How exactly do you propose you're going to tackle inflation? You think Democrats are going to be willing to give you legislative victories? And even beyond that, you think Democrats are willing to come to reality, down to the real world, to implement actual important policies that tackle inflation? Of course not. How do you tackle inflation? You produce more. You got to increase fossil fuel production and energy production in general across the board. Are Democrats ever going to sign on to that? Absolutely not. You got to increase production in general. America shouldn't just be producing more oil and fossil fuels and energy from various different sources, even sustainable ones. America needs to start making again, needs to start producing. The production and supply side of the economy needs to start roaring. Democrats don't want to do that. Democrats don't want to unleash American production. They want to increase taxes and tax major corporations and major manufacturers and producers into the ground. So how exactly are you going to tackle inflation and other pressing matters with Democrats who don't want to give Republicans legislative victories and who don't want to pass good policy? It's a level of idealism that just isn't realistic. The absolute best case scenario right now is just stopping Joe Biden's legislative agenda. Nothing else. The best thing that you can do, the only good that you can do, is to stop all of the bad that Democrats plan on implementing. But now, even beyond Mitt Romney's grade school naivete, what in the heck is this guy even thinking? Calling for investigations into Hunter Biden to end. There's more pressing matters, Mitt Romney says. You know, you could pass good, strong legislation and also hold people accountable and start attacking Washington corruption like white blood cells. Those two things aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. It's not like you can only do one thing. I mean, for Pete's sakes, you people in Congress and in the Senate barely work. Have you seen some of these people's schedules? Especially in the House of Representatives, some of these congressmen and women don't even show up to vote 40% of the time. But essentially what Mitt Romney's going to tell you is that holding corrupt officials accountable, well, that's just not a priority. This is the exact opposite of what is needed right now. Probably the number one priority is tackling this corruption, especially considering the timing after the Twitter files drop. Republican voters are craving some some basic accountability. Yet Mitt Romney once again sides with the Democrat distraction narrative. The idea that Hunter Biden is just a distraction and we have more important things to focus on. But it's not just Hunter Biden. In fact, Hunter Biden is the least important factor. I could not care less about crackhead Hunter Biden. People want an investigation into the big guy. Whether Joe Biden at the time was using his son as a proxy, as a vessel in Ukraine, selling his influence to the highest bidder across the globe. Mitt Romney is essentially telling you that that doesn't matter. It's not really a big deal. What a clown. Not to mention the connection between, of course, the FBI, the DOJ, who planted a bunch of former lawyers and former agents at Twitter, at Facebook, and other social media companies, and then actively suppressed information to benefit Democrats in an election season, shadow banned Republican candidates. Let's not forget that Google is facing what I think is a class action lawsuit for sending Republican fundraising request emails into people's spam folders while delivering Democrat ones, no problem. We're just gonna pretend like none of this is a big deal? What Mitt Romney doesn't seem to understand is that if this continues, the Republican Party will cease to exist. It's time for these people to go. Mitt Romney, Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, the whole lot of them. Even Mitt Romney's niece, GOP chairwoman Ronna McDaniel, who, by the way, Texas and Arizona GOP are now expressing no confidence in Ronna McDaniel. Actually, building on this story, we have this from Benny Johnson. Breaking inside source at the RNC is telling me that Ronna McDaniel's campaign is in a free fall. Quote, "This is an implosion," a high-ranking RNC official tells me. "Dozens of state officials are walking back their endorsements. She is toxic, I am told by one voting RNC member." So it's looking like it's possible that Ronna McDaniel is about to get the boot, and good riddance. You shouldn't get to keep your job if you're currently leading a GOP that's in total free fall. It's time to clean house if these people are unwilling to stand up to the corruption. It's either you're with the American people or you're with the corrupt Washington Uniparty. And these Republicans are making their decisions. They're telling you that they are siding with Nancy Pelosi, the Bidens, the Clintons, the Obamas, the mainstream media, the FBI, social media companies. They are siding with the Uniparty establishment that seeks to destroy you, and that's a pretty damn big deal. Mitt Romney very conveniently brushing off the Hunter Biden investigations as a mere distraction, but we know it's much bigger than that. I mean, is he not curious at all, or is he corrupt? Is Mitt Romney compromised? Those seem to be the only two options. After the 2020 election, 50 former intelligence officials came out and publicly declared that the Hunter Biden laptop story had all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation or a Russian disinformation campaign. 50 former intelligence officials. You're going to tell me, Mitt Romney, that you're not curious at all to get to the bottom of that. If that's the case, then there is something deeply, deeply wrong. These cowardly neocon rhino hacks, there's only one way to say it, need to friggin' grow a pair. It's absolutely unbelievable. That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.